And good afternoon, Sword Family. What a week this has been. Uh, I definitely need this. Uh, wow, my brain just said screw you and never mind. Distraction. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Wow. It has been a hellish, awful week since Wednesday morning. And so, uh, possible announcement. I don't know if I'll be doing my game stream on Monday. That depends on some various factors. But my dad is not doing great right now. So any possible prayers or incense lighting or good juju or whatever you can send my way will be appreciated. Uh, it's going to be a long haul, it sounds like, and I don't really know how much time I'm going to have for regular streaming. I'm going to try as much as I can to at least do these every Saturday, but I don't know how often I'm going to be able to do my game stream, which is really disappointing because I got the game working after the weirdness on Monday. Literally, all I had to do was restart my computer, which she was telling me the entire time, and I should have just listened. But yeah, it's fine. It's running normally. So my plan was just to go back a few saves and just redo the entire Lotus Assassin Fortress without all the weird glitchiness. But now I don't know. I might have to wait until Monday afternoon or Monday morning before I can even set up the link for the stream. I just made this last night because I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to be doing this today either. But this is a good distraction. And I chose this topic specifically, Wong Fei-Hung and the 10 Tigers, because last Sunday, which was the 9th, I saw a Instagram post about Wong Fei-Hung and his life. And I figured that probably a lot of my regular audience don't know very much about Wong Fei-Hung. So I decided it would probably be a decent topic. And since we've done, India and Korea and Japan the last few weeks, I know season 2 is expanding the reach of greater Asia, but every once in a while I am just going to throw a random Chinese theme or topic into the show. And Wong Fei-Hung is an interesting character. He is a very accomplished martial artist, but he was also a physician. And he opened a very famous medical clinic, which unfortunately is now closed, which is disappointing. But he is also a folk hero. He was portrayed probably most famously by Jet Li in the Once Upon a Time in China movies. Well, 4 of the Once Upon a Time in China movies. Another actor took over for Jet Li in, I think, 4, 5, and possibly 7. But when someone rises to the level of folk hero, it's definitely someone worth discussing. And his connection to the 10 Tigers of Canton will also be discussed tonight. It's a very specific connection, but we will get to that as we get there. For my tea tonight, I'm trying something new. I've done these Lipton fusion things before, but I saw this one today. I did a strawberry, and I don't remember what the other one was, but it was also a peach something. This one is peach passion fruit. I just saw this today, and we're gonna go getting able to try. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that one. The other two were good. The strawberry lemonade tea was good, and the other peach. I'm gonna just because I hate not knowing things. I just have to go and see what the other one was because it's gonna bug me. But in the meantime, while that screen is loading, we'll go ahead and run through. I have 69 comments. Nice. Go ahead and run through these, and then we'll get started. All right, and first to the door at 4:26 is Foxy. Hello and welcome to the Teahouse. Join us tonight for another informative episode with fun antics in the chat. Yeah, probably. And Donna joining us at 5:04. Greeting Foxy and everyone, and Foxy greeting Donna. How are you feeling? Next question. Yeah, I missed the green room last night because I was out to dinner with my brother, my sister, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, my mother, my cousin, his wife, their little boy, my aunt, and my little cousin who used to be a student of mine, and then she hit her preteens and decided it was no longer cool to hang out with her, 40-plus-year-old cousin, uncle thing. Yeah. So, yeah. I have spent most of the last 3 days in the ICU. So spending today at home and literally doing nothing other than we went to the farmer's market this morning and Foxy got some raspberries. I haven't done a damn thing today, and it's been kind of nice. So it would have been nice to have a green room, but I don't know. Better than I've been. We took a day off and let his brother and sister visit ICU today. Yes. Kitty, I don't have a harem. I need a couple more girls for that. Foxy giggles, and Donna greeting Kitty, and if this is Thesis harem, does that make me the Valide Sultan mother? Sure. Why not? I don't want to be a sultan, though. I don't. Please, no. That's too much responsibility. I'd rather not. No. Pretty sure I'm too old to be his consort. Yeah, but the harem needs an advisor. That's our job, Kitty? Yeah. Just has very good taste. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think I have good taste. Donna greeting Dan. Foxy put her feet up. Glad that feels better. An old bitty fetish. Don't ask me about my fetishes because I will answer. And that will completely derail everything and possibly get my channel taken down. Foxy greeting Dan and Dan laughing. And this is very true. If nothing else, he appreciates wisdom. I do. I very much do. I am a... Oh, Jesus. There's a term for it. I'm sure someone out there knows. Someone that is attracted to intelligent people. stupid people, like, will absolutely turn me off. Just dumb people. I know there's a word for it. Sapiosexual. I think that's it. Something like that. And Ruby joining us. Evening, everyone. Hello, Ruby. You're already part of the harem. Foxy greeting Ruby. How's it going? And more greetings to Ruby. And going good. Just finished up my Zord training for the day. Good. That's very good. That is very, very good. That's what it was. It was a pineapple mango lemonade and strawberry lemonade. Those were both good. This one, I don't know. I'm gonna finish it because I paid for it, but I'm not sure about it. Yep, went to the farmer's market and she got raspberries. I got nothing. I got something the very first week. I got some homemade strawberry jam that we ended up not even using because it was only good for 2 weeks unless we froze it, and then it got stuck in the fridge, which then got progressively pushed farther back into the fridge by putting new stuff in the fridge. And by the time I found it, it was expired. So, yeah. One thing I missed about our place in GCR had raspberries, blackberries, and black raspberry. Ooh, they were just beginning to produce good when we moved. Oh, that sucks. And Uncle Carl joins us. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Carl, and greetings to the Blitzman dude. And greeting Carl and Sarah. Hey, fam, what's up, Sarah? Almost tea time. Yeah, we're about 10 minutes. So I'm only 20 minutes behind on comments, but I needed to vent, and I still need to vent, but I'm not going to because, once again, that would derail the entire stream and possibly get my channel taken down because there would be lots of expletives and bad words. But yes, it is good to see Sarah, and Carl greeting Sarah and Dave, and Foxy greeting Dave, and good to be here with you guys. I'm glad, Sarah. I really enjoy having you around. I know you sent me an invitation to Snapchat, but I don't have Snapchat, and I don't have a lot of, random stuff on my phone. I don't even have Facebook on my phone or Instagram or anything like that. So I might, hop on there occasionally, though. We'll see. And Donna greeting Sarah and Dave. Seeing if he remembers. If not, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yes. The EKM is at the con in Charleston at EIU, so I may hear from him sometime. Okay. So I'll probably go find him after he's done with today's event. All right. Wine Wiggles and Wild Hair. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, well, Share the whip comes out. Careful. Sarah, there might be some people in the audience that might enjoy that. Jeez, 100,000 months. Jesus, Dave. Oh my God. My best was like 1,200, and that's because I was at the airport. Might be bouncing out, if so, I should say, or take you with me. Hey, we're good with anything, Sarah, as long as you're, safe and alive and breathing and goth. Yeah, that's definitely a wow. Good job. 67 and just scattered. My God, dude. Yes, that is definitely a lot. Definitely wow. Someone remind me, please, that Bloody Marys are dangerous. I could have drunk 2 gallons of tomato juice last night, even without anything mixed into it. Just, I can't do tomatoes, tomato juice. No. Yeah, oops. Going to be listening while going through things. That's fine. We're here. We're not going anywhere. Set up a virtual mystery garden next to 2 virtual gardens. When I cap the mysteries, the scatters went all over the other 2. Wow. Yeah, that would definitely do it. That is indeed a strategy. Well done. Nice plan. Oh, we play. Well, I play. She has one. She just doesn't do anything with it. Used a 2-time virtual cap booster. That'll do too. Back to tea time with Wong Fei-Hung talk. Indeed. You know what? I might smell blueberry muffins too. It's been odd the last 2 or 3 days. It's been like cloudy and overcast and raining. So our highs have been in like the mid 70s. So our windows have been open. The window is still open, even though it is currently, let's see what the weather sages have to say. 81 degrees outside. But our low is going to be 56. So, yeah. When I got up this morning after having both of those 2 windows open, with that fan blowing cold air into the room, when I got up this morning, it was 65 degrees in my apartment. I was actually a little bit cold. So it hasn't, the air conditioning has not kicked on at all yet today. And I'm pretty sure the temps are dropping now. So it probably won't. But if it does, it won't be for very long. Less productive, probably listen in color. Hey, do what you got to do. Nice, Foxy. Yeah. It's faint, but I think either that or it's just psychosomatic. She mentioned it, and now my nose is like, do I smell that too? It's possible, though. And greetings to me, and more greetings to me, and more greetings to me. And we have a Dawn over on Kick. Very much appreciated. Prayers, thank you. Sorry to hear that. Super hugs to you and Foxy. Thank you. I really, yeah. Love to you. All good things. Yeah. It was a day. He's been in there since Wednesday. And I'm not going to, put too much out there because it's personal stuff. But needless to say that he has been restrained in the ICU since Wednesday. Yeah. He is basically lashed to the bed. Yes, I know you told me to restart, but... And now it's fine. And now I don't know if I'm going to be able to play for a while. Yeah. Week has been not fun, I know. Well, I'm trying a new thing, and usually when I try new things the first time, it's... Yes, I still have my teacup, but... Yeah, I still don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, I'm going to finish it because I paid for it. Can reach out to me just like you've let me. No pressure. I really appreciate that, Sarah. I might. Yeah. It's been. Yeah. Need a distraction. Distractions are always good. No. Did very little today, too. Didn't feel too well, but better now. Good. I'm glad. Yes, that is good. Yeah. We got it. Sapiosexual. Yep. And there's Midnight with, hey, you're late. Of course, I'm late too, so it's okay. What's up, Sword family? And greetings to Midnight. And want a muffin now? Yeah. And greetings to Midnight and Dawn on Kick. Okay, so, like I said, last Sunday, I saw an Instagram post about Wong Fei-Hung and his life. And so I shared that on my Facebook. Wong Fei-Hung which that would be the Cantonese pronunciation. The Mandarin pronunciation would be much closer to Huang, See, Cantonese, W-O-N-G, Mandarin, H-U-A-N-G. Huang, Wong. Hi there. You gonna try it? Go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to try it.
Okay. Pops is gonna try the tea.
I like it.
Yeah,
But I like peach a lot more than you do.
see, she's gonna come. You can take the can with you if you want. That's full. You can take it with you. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's all good.
Air's probably turned on.
Yeah, just because I said the air's probably not going to turn on, the air conditioner just turned on.
Or you can just leave it because it's not going to be.
Yeah, it won't be on for very long at all. Wong Fei-Hung was born July 9th, 1847. He was born Wong Sek-chung. My Cantonese pronunciation needs work, guys. I am not great at Cantonese. I'm much better with Mandarin. The pronunciations are different. But he was born Wong Sek-chung, or in Mandarin, Wang Xixiang. Xixiang. He was a martial artist, physician, folk hero from Guangzhou. Guangzhou is also known as Canton. The Cantonese language gets its name from the Canton region of China. The 10 Tigers of Canton. It is an area. It is a province. And Guangzhou was the capital and largest city. It's in southern China, Canton. He was considered an expert in Hung Gar, which is an external, long fist style of martial arts. Most people who know something about Hung Gar know it mostly by Tiger and Crane. That's kind of the most famous Hung Gar style. And Wong Fei-Hung is one of the most famous practitioners of Hung Gar. However, excuse me, he was more famous as a physician who practiced chiropractic, acupuncture, and other forms of traditional Chinese medicine at Po Chi Lam. Po Chi Lam was his medical clinic. Po Chi Lam is, of course, the Cantonese pronunciation of Bao Zhi Lin. Bao Zhi Lin. There are 2 museums dedicated to Wong Fei-Hung in Foshan, where he was born. There have been multiple movies and TV series based on Wong Fei-Hung's life. I mentioned Once Upon a Time in China. There are, I know of 4, so I want to make sure because I don't want to get this wrong. There are 6 films in the Once Upon a Time in China collection. I have 1, 2, 3, I do not own 4 and 5. 4 and 5 were when Jet Li stopped playing Wong Fei-Hung and Vincent Zhao came in for 4 and 5. Then Jet Li came back for the film Once Upon a Time in China and America. Now, for the people that watched my Jet Li movie tier list, which reminds me, I missed Michelle Yeoh's birthday. That was going to be the next one I was planning on making. Her birthday was the day after I went and picked my parents up from the airport. So I missed that one. So that's going to have to come in 2027. Because I want to release those videos on their actual birthdays. So 2027, early 2027, I will do Sammo Hung, which Sammo Hung also played Wong Fei-Hung. And then next August, I will do Michelle Yeoh. But to the people that watched my Jet Li movie tier list, Once Upon a Time in China and America, to me, was the blueprint for the Jackie Chan movie, Shanghai Noon. You have a very similar story beat. Chinese character comes to the West through some contrivance, ends up with an Indian tribe, and then you have the culture shock of Chinese person in the Wild West. Once Upon a Time in China and America, Shanghai Noon. But also, there was one movie that I know of where Wong Fei-Hung was not the main character. He was a side character because it was Wong Fei-Hung as a child. And the actual main character was Wong Fei-Hung's father, Wong Qiying. And in that movie, Wong Fei-Hung was actually played by a young girl. That was definitely interesting. March my 2027 calendar. I should probably do that too. I should probably mark the calendar so I don't forget. Now, still coming up in November of this year, I'm doing the Bruce Lee movie tier list. That will probably be my shortest movie tier list because there's only like 5 movies that he ever made. And one of them, he's only in the end of the movie. And the rest of the movie, they used body doubles and they used scenes from previous movies because that was the movie that he was making when he died. But that will be in November. It's not bad. I mean, I'm obviously going to finish it, but I think I like the other 2 better, but it's worth a try. So, Wong Fei-Hung started learning Hangul from his father, Wong Qiying, at the age of 5. 5 years old. He started training with his dad. He often followed his father from Foshan to Guangzhou, where his father practiced medicine and performed martial arts in the streets. At 13, he encountered Lam Fuxing in Foshan, and Fuxing taught him how to use the sling and moves from Iron Wire Fist, which is another branch of Hangul. He learned the shadowless kick, which is his most famous move, from Fei-Hung. So he had quite a few teachers in martial arts. Much like his father, Wong Fei-Hung was very personable. He made lots of friends in both the medical world and martial arts. And through these friendships and various other chance meetings with people, he was exposed to vast amounts of knowledge in various fields. He also was able to use what he learned from other teachers to enhance what he learned from his father, and basically created his own style. And that style is now in southern China what you see in southern Chinese martial arts. It comes from Wong Fei-Hung. He started with his father at 5. Then, almost a decade later, he meets another person that teaches him further moves. Then he learns the shadowless kick, which is a kicking technique in Hung Gar that is made famous by Wong Fei-Hung. You usually see the shadowless kick in movies shown as being more than it actually is. You know, the character Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat has a move in his repertoire called the shadowless kick, or the no shadow kick. And in the game, it's basically a quick advance straight snap kick. So just a straight snap side kick, but he almost teleports across the screen. In one of the Once Upon a Time in China movies, it's portrayed as Wong doing a flying jump kick, grabbing the opponent's head and using them as a brace, and then just kicking them repeatedly while, like, hanging suspended in the air. The actual shadowless kick is a lot more mundane. It's actually just a simultaneous grapple move or a hand distraction and then a really, really low kick. So it's basically a feint almost. It's aimed at the lower body between the dantian, which is below the belly button, and the knee. And you either grab them or just distract them with your hands and then kick low and fast. That's the shadowless kick. But it's something that Wong Fei-Hung is famous for. He is well known. In 1863, he started a martial arts school in Suijiao in Guangzhou. His students were mainly laborers and street vendors. In 1886 was when he opened Boqilam, which used to be in Guangzhou City. It is unfortunately now closed. Which is sad, because that would definitely be something that I would actually want to go visit, is go to Boqilam. I think it'd be kind of cool. But It's close now. In 1912, the First Chinese Republic was established after the official collapse of the Qing Empire. This is also known as the Republican era. During the early years of the Republican era, businessmen who operated places of entertainment, meaning brothels, gambling houses, bars, in Guangzhou were hiring guards to protect their businesses. During this time, Wong Fei-Hung was hired by multiple businesses to be a bouncer, to be a guard. Now, we talked about another character that Jet Li played. Huo Yunjia. Once again, also played by Jet Li in the movie Fearless. Huo Yunjia, also folk hero. I did a Teahouse about him, and I talked about his Jingwu Athletic Association. In 1919, the Jingwu opened a branch in Canton, and Fei-Hung was invited to perform at the opening ceremony. In the same year, one of Wong's sons, who was working as a bodyguard in Wuzhou, was murdered because Wong's son was better than the murderer in martial arts. And this affected Wong Fei-Hung so badly that he stopped teaching his other sons to fight. He just done. That was his first son. He had 4 sons and 2 daughters with 4 different wives. So he had quite a, In 1924, between August and October, both Xilam was destroyed when the nationalist government was going around suppressing uprisings from the Guangzhou Merchant Volunteer Corps. This saddened him so much that he fell into depression and got sick. And that sickness killed him April 17th of 1925. His 4th wife, along with his sons and several of his students, then moved to Hong Kong and opened martial arts schools there. Currently, we are not aware of where his grave is located. It is believed that developers dug up several graves, including Wong Fei-Hung's, to build on. And that is basically the life of Wong Fei-Hung. Now, there's still a little bit more to go, and we still have to talk a little bit about the 10 Tigers. But I want to talk a little bit about the martial art that he basically created. The main branch is Hung-ga, but as I said, he had several teachers, and he was able to take the Hung-ga that his father taught him and this stuff from these other people, and he basically created the tiger crane form that most people know Hung-ga for today. If you look up Hung-ga tiger crane, that is Wong Fei-Hung. That is his creation. To be able to take teachings from several different Shifus and to form that around your own style is something that a lot of people do now, today. Like Bruce Lee is well known for creating Jeet Kune Do, which, again, I'm pretty sure is Cantonese because he's from Hong Kong. And Cantonese is, Southern Chinese language. And he created Jeet Kune Do by taking the base of Wing Chun that he learned from Ip Man and then going and researching Western boxing and fencing and several other martial arts and taking all of that knowledge and just creating something out of it. And that's what Wong Fei-Hung did. He was also incredibly proficient using the staff and the tiger fork. There are stories, including one where Fei-Hung was able to take out 30 gangsters on the dock of Guangzhou with nothing but a staff. This might be a story, might be true, we don't know. Also, So Chan, or Beggar So, who is also a pseudo folk hero, he is one of the 10 tigers, was told that he taught Wong Fei-Hung drunken boxing, yet another style. So now we're going to talk a little bit about his family, his relationships. His first wife. All we know about his first wife, actually, all we know about his first 3 wives are their last names. So we have Mrs. Luo, Mrs. Ma, and Miss Sen. That's all we know. Last names. His first wife was Mrs. Luo, or Mrs. Law in Cantonese. She married Wong Fei-Hung in 1871. 3 months later, she died. But she gave him at least one son, I think. No, never mind. No. So they were only married for 3 months, at which point Wong Fei-Hung was widowed for 25 years. 1871 to 1896. Married his first wife. She dies 3 months later. For the next 25 years, he was widowed and alone. Then in 1896, he married Mrs. Ma, and Mrs. Ma gave him 2 sons and 2 daughters. One of the sons is the one we talked about earlier that got murdered simply for being better at martial arts than the murderer. That wife then dies of illness. And he marries Mrs. Tsen in 1902. So again, 6 years. He's widowed. He marries again. She gives him 2 more sons and dies of illness. Then he's alone again until 1915. And now we actually have a full name of Mo Kwai Lang, or Mo Guai Lian, who married Wong in 1915, and she outlived him. She died in 1982. So he died in 1925 at the age of 77. She died in 1982. They were only married for about 11 or 12 years, but 11 or 12 years is better than most of his other wives. And Wong so strongly believed that someone put a curse on him, and the curse is what killed his first 3 wives, that Mok Kwai Lan was never formally his wife. That was actually his concubine. So he was so convinced that someone put a curse on him, and that curse killed the other 3, that he's like, you know what? No more marriage for me. I'm done with marriage. So he had 5 children. 4 sons, 2 from his second wife and 2 from his third wife. No, 6. He had 6 kids. Learn to count. 4 sons, 2 daughters. We have information on the sons. Wong Hon Siu, Wong Hon Hei, Wong Hon Lan, and Wong Hon San. We don't know much about his daughters. What we do know is he had at least 3 grandsons and 6 granddaughters, and he currently has descendants living in Australia, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it sounds familiar to today's events. Well, you know. In 1996, a museum was built in Foshan called the Fei-Hung Lion Dance Martial Arts Museum. A Fei-Hung Memorial Hall was opened in 2001, also in Foshan. The hall has exhibits covering his life, his martial arts, his medical career, and a reconstruction of Bo Lam. This is another place I'd like to visit. Probably not going to get a chance to. But I would love to go and visit the Fei-Hung Memorial. I would love to go visit any of the halls of Jingwu. I would love to go visit some of the Bruce Lee museums in Hong Kong. There's just a lot of stuff I would like to see. Now, the photo that I have on the thumbnail is one of the alleged photos of Wong Fei-Hung. There was another photo that was supposedly provided by his fourth wife. It was exhibited at the Wong Fei-Hung Memorial Hall. But in 2009, it was revealed that the person in that picture was actually his youngest son. In 2005, another alleged photo was found in Hong Kong. His fourth wife once stated that Wong Fei-Hung was very superstitious and believed that having pictures taken of yourself would shorten your lifespan. So he only had one picture taken in his entire lifetime by one of his students. And that picture is the picture from the thumbnail. That's the only believed photo of Wong Fei-Hung. Now, there have been over 100 films and TV series featuring or about Wong Fei-Hung since 1949. So, we talk about Once Upon a Time in China, Jet Li and Vincent Zhao. Also, Jackie Chan played a sort of Wong Fei-Hung character in Drunken Master and Drunken Master 2. Iron Monkey is the one I talked about earlier. Donnie Yen's in it. For the people who watched my Donnie Yen movie tier list last month, Iron Monkey, Donnie Yen plays Wong Fei-Hung's father, Wong Qiying, and Angie Tsang played the child Wong Fei-Hung. Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung appears briefly as Wong Fei-Hung as one of the 10 Tigers of Canton, which he wasn't. We're going to get into that in a minute. Now, there were also several TV series, just a lot of them basically called Wong Fei-Hung, Wong Fei-Hung Master of Kung Fu, Young Wong Fei-Hung. I have a movie from HBO Asia supposedly kind of sort of about Wong Fei-Hung. It's called Master of the Shadowless Kick. It's very fictional, as a lot of movies about Wong Fei-Hung are. For the people my age and comic book fans, Usagi Yojimbo, the rabbit samurai, mostly made famous because of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The person that created Usagi Yojimbo mentioned his plans to include a character based on Wong Fei-Hung in future issues of Usagi Yojimbo. He's also been in various video games. And there are characters kind of sort of based on him without having his name. And that is Wong Fei-Hung. Not sure what that is, Sarah. So now that we're almost at the hour, now we can talk about the 10 Tigers. Some people mistakenly claim coloring in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle coloring book. That's awesome. When I talked about my T-Pets last time, and I showed off my dragon, it's a monkey. Okay. Thanks for another informative episode. Oh, we're not done yet. I talked about my rabbit T-Pet. They got its ears broken off. And saying I need to name my T-Pets. I actually am kind of sort of maybe possibly rattling around the idea of naming that rabbit after Usagi Yojimbo. Yeah. So, Wong Fei-Hung was not one of the 10 Tigers of Canton. He is actually known as the Tiger after the 10. Which is why when you see Sammo Hung playing Wong Fei-Hung in Around the World in 80 Days, the 10 Tigers of Canton show up to help Jackie Chan's character fight against the evil guys that are like, doing all the bad stuff. Wong Fei-Hung was not one of the 10 Tigers. His father was. Wong Qiying was one of the 10 Tigers, which is why Wong Fei-Hung is known as the Tiger after the 10, because he was the son of one of the original 10. So the 10 Tigers, also known as the 10 Tigers of Guangdong, was a group of 10 Chinese martial artists from Guangdong province from the 19th century during the Qing dynasty. They were believed to be the greatest fighters in Guangdong province during the Qing era. And they are also considered to be folk heroes. The 10 Tigers trace their lineage to the southern Shaolin Monastery in Fujian province. So the 10 Tigers use Shaolin Kung Fu. So now we're going to quickly, as quick as I can, go over the 10 Tigers. So first we have Wong Yanla. He was a master of the Lion's Roar style. Which later split into Hop Family Fist, White Crane Fist, and Llama Fist. Next we have Wong Tsing Ho, who sometimes is portrayed as specializing in Nine Dragon Fist. So Hak Fu, trained in Southern Shaolin, but later created his own style, which today is known as Black Tiger. You remember the Black Leopard school in Jade Empire? So Hak Fu's Black Tiger style. Now we have Wong Qiying. He is one of the progenitors of Hung Ga. Then you have Lian Xiu, who is a practitioner of Haka Fist, also known as Southern Praying Mantis. I love Mantis. He was also known for his skill in Seven Star Fist. Then you have So Chan, also known as Beggar So. He is mostly known for his skill in drunken boxing and Shaolin staff. Beggar So is also regarded as a folk hero. You see him in Drunken Master as Wong Fei-Hung's teacher. But he also is the main character in films like King of Beggars and True Legend, which True Legend is an awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, go out and see it. It kind of tells a fictionalized account of how So Chan created Drunken Fist. Leung Kwan is next, who is also one of the progenitors of Hung Ga, but he actually practiced an uncategorized Southern Shaolin style. He was known for his skill in Iron Wire Fist. He is also known as Teahouse, Iron Bridge 3, because of his strength. Chen Chung Tai is next, who specialized in Iron Finger. Shush. Not the green room. Yes, Iron Finger. We're just going to put this up here. Iron Finger style. Yes. Usagi Yojimbo. Yes. Actually, it's not. Usagi Yojimbo. Usagi Yojimbo. More stuff from Sarah. Being random while listening, seeing what emojis show up to match what you're saying. Hey, it's all good. Not a problem. Tam Chai Kwan was a practitioner of Kwadu, which is a style of Hung Ga, and Tamga. He is well known for using 3 different types of kicks. And last, Chow Tai, known for his soft hand techniques and mastery of the long staff. He created the Zhou family Bagua staff, also a master of Cai Li Fu, which he integrated into other martial arts styles. And he has descendants, great-grandson and great-great-grandson, who live in San Francisco, California today. So those are the actual 10 Tigers of Canton. Now, like Wong Fei-Hung and like Ho Yun-jia, the 10 Tigers of Canton have had a few movies, a few TV series. The most famous is the 1979 Hong Kong film, The 10 Tigers from Canton, a Shaw Brothers movie, because a lot of Hong Kong movies in the 70s were made by the Shaw Brothers. But also, as I mentioned, a fictionalized version of the 10 Tigers was in Around the World in 80 Days with Sammo Hung making a special appearance as Wong Fei-Hung. Wong and the 10 Tigers helped liberate the village of Lanzhou, which was Jackie Chan's character's home village. For the people who have never seen the movie, quick recap. Jackie Chan's character comes from the village of Lanzhou. Lanzhou has a jade Buddha statue that the entire village prays to. It's a deity in that village. Well, deity might be the wrong term, but you get the idea. It was stolen and ended up in a museum in, I want to say, London, I think. Jackie Chan's character goes from Lanzhou to London, steals the Jade Buddha. Then he has to go and hide because he's now a fugitive. And he ends up in the workshop of Mr. Phileas Fogg, who believes that Jackie Chan's character, who, for whatever reason, takes the name Passepartout, his actual character name is Lao Xing, he believes that this is a new valet. Lao Xing then uses Phileas Fogg and his bet with the National Science Academy that he can traverse the entire world in 80 days to return the Jade Buddha to Lanzhou. Yep, there's the pupper. No, I didn't grab it. I'm sorry. And of course, there's various antics along the way, including them taking a train and ending up in a sultan's village, and the sultan is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Yep, that was the pupper. Uh-huh. If any cultures, especially Asian cultures, artifacts ever vanish, museums in London, the first choices look in all the world. There is a joke. That's not a joke. That the only reason that the pyramids of Giza are still in Giza is because they don't fit in the London Museum. That's not a joke. The British took over Hong Kong. They took over India. They took over parts of China. And they did steal a lot of artifacts and brought them back to British museums. They also brought in opium. Well, that's actually not that strange, sir. That actually kind of makes sense. For some reason, I can only watch movies with those who have knowledge of what I'm seeing. Otherwise, it's difficult to pay attention. It's weird but true. Hey, I have given lots and lots and lots of suggestions of movies to watch. I mean, I've done 3 separate movie tier lists already. Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Donnie Yen. And that's only the movies that I personally have seen. Because I'm not going to rank a movie that I haven't seen. So there are lots and lots of Jackie Chan movies I haven't seen. There's still a few Donnie Yen movies I haven't seen. Most of them are older movies. So I'm sure most of the people, at least in the chat, have already seen my movie tier list. Most of the movies on there are from like 2000 to now. With the exception of like Iron Monkey and Drunken Tai Chi. I haven't seen the 4th John Wick yet, which I want to. Especially since the character he plays in that movie is now getting his own spin-off movie. It'd probably be a good idea to watch John Wick 4 first before you watch that movie. But I am almost 100% certain that most of my main audience has not watched a good portion of the movies that I have suggested. And I do not hold that against any single person. I don't care. Man. But the reason that I suggest these movies is because they're pertinent to the topic I'm talking about. You know, I personally own 4 of the 6 Once Upon a Time in China movies. I have seen the 4th and the 5th film with Vincent Zhao. I don't have anything against the movies. But to me, Jet Li does a much better job of portraying Wong Fei-Hung. And so I just kind of prefer Once Upon a Time in China 1, 2, 3, and Once Upon a Time in China in America. When I did my show about Guan Yu, I suggested Lost Bladesman with Donnie Yen. I suggest these movies because they're pertinent to the topic. But if you can't, if you're unable to watch them, or if they just don't interest you, I'm not going to force you. You know, I call them homework because I'm being silly. But if you have watched them, please let me know what you thought about them, because I'm honestly very curious. Because when I watch martial arts movies, I'm watching them through a certain lens. And I'm aware of this. I'm watching them through a lens as a martial artist. And I'm watching them through a lens of someone who knows some about the culture and time period that they're portrayed during. She doesn't always. And sometimes when we're watching certain, kung fu or wuxia movies, she will have to ask me questions about why certain people are doing things certain ways, and I will literally pause the movie and explain it. Yeah, this is also true. British also brought back every conceivable spice from around the world, yet only used salt, black pepper, curry powder, tea, and not much else ever. Yes, this is also a joke, that the British conquered most of the known world for spices and then used none of them. Then I enjoy them with only people like you. I can't watch any movies right now, but where's my teleporter? Yeah. Absolutely. You could sit on that couch right there and we'd watch a buttload of movies. I got that movie rack right there. There's another one right there. I have just regular DVDs in a CD case on the floor. I have some more over here. I have two levels under my TV stand plus a bookcase in the spare bedroom. I got a lot of movies. And if you had questions, just like I said with her, I would pause the movie and answer them. Like I remember once, and this is kind of off topic, but we're winding down. I think we were watching the first Ip Man movie. And in a lot of certain time period of kung fu movies, the British are they're not portrayed very well. And sadly, this is kind of historically accurate. Sorry, Lindsay. But the British did not always treat the cultures that they subjugated very well. The Chinese culture has their own version of this, as does every other culture in the world. You can't say that, you can't be proud of your culture without admitting the bad shit they did. Because if you believe that your culture, whatever it is, never did anything bad, nah. You're just kidding yourself. Once again, try not to get political on this channel, but there is a certain group of the population in America, about 30% of us, not the majority, that loves to claim that America is the greatest country in the world. And also loves to claim that if you ever say anything bad about this country, then you hate America. Nah, bro. Sorry. I can admit the faults of my country. I can admit the faults of Chinese countries. I can admit the faults of Indian countries. To be actually proud of your country, you have to be willing to admit its faults. You have to. Otherwise, you're just creating a candy-coated version for yourself. And that's just no. But in a lot of kung fu movies, especially set in Hong Kong, the British are not portrayed very well. Because they weren't very nice to the Chinese people. I'm sure there were some that were just perfectly pleasant and wonderful to be around. But that wasn't the majority. I'm sorry, it wasn't. And we were watching No, it was the second Ip Man movie, because it was the second Ip Man movie where Ip Man went to Hong Kong. The first Ip Man movie, he was still in mainland China. And you had the British military and the British police, and they were letting a lot of bad shit happen. They were letting gangs, they were letting corruption happen because they were paying the British police money. And she had to ask me, why are the British villains in a lot of these kung fu movies? So I went ahead and paused the movie, and for the next about 45 minutes, I talked about the history of the British occupation of Hong Kong. It wasn't very nice. Salvaged a lot of DVDs and nothing to watch them on is available. Oh, I hate that. That's terrible. Factual information is different from opinion. Yes. Yes, it is. Because they were often villains in real life. Exactly. It's like the people, unfortunately, this might piss off some of my audience, but facts don't care about your feelings. A lot of people in the South that like to pretend that the Civil War had nothing to do with slavery, or that their army was in the right, and you're not allowed to say bad things. No, you can say bad things. There are people currently today living in the South that have ancestors, not too distant ancestors, that were part of the Confederate Army that say, yeah, that was messed up. That was bad. We shouldn't have done that. Movements happen in fact no matter time, place, or time period. This is also true. You know, the Uyghur genocide going on in China, the Chinese government not treating dissidents very well. These are all stains on history. But by denying these things, like I said, you're creating a candy-coated version of history. Something that makes you feel good. History is not meant to make you feel good. It's not. It doesn't exist to give you warm, fuzzy feelings. It exists to make you look at things that happened in the past and go, we don't need to do this anymore. We shouldn't do this anymore. This was bad. Call bullshit on both opinions, and I live in the Deep South. Yeah, exactly. But I think that's enough soapboxing, because I can smell my food cooking, and I would like to go eat dinner. If anybody has anything in the chat they want to hear me talk about, just let me know. I'm always open to ideas. I've gotten great ideas from Dan. I've gotten great ideas from Trey. We did the crazy Korean guy last week because of Midnight's, one of Midnight's partners. If you have anything you want me to discuss, or you want me to discuss something further that you've seen me discuss in the past, just let me know. I am here as much for you guys as I'm here for me. If I don't have an audience, I feel like I'm screaming into the void and just saying a bunch of dumb shit. So if you have anything that you want to hear me discuss, just let me know. And I will absolutely, at the very least, add it to my list of topics. Because I have a pretty exhaustive list right now. And I also have a fairly large list of short form videos that I want to do. So if you have an idea for a short form video, not a Teahouse video, once again, let me know. If it's something I don't know about, like King Yong Sang-gun, I will go learn. I will spend the week or 2 weeks or however long it takes to learn about the thing. I love learning, especially when it's a topic that I don't know anything about. If I'm able to do my game stream on Monday, we're going back to the Lotus Assassin Fortress without all the weird shoppiness. And hopefully we'll be able to finish that. If not, I honestly don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. I'm going to try and at least keep these. Keep my Saturday shows. When we have creatives at play, I'm going to try as much as I can to be on those, even if it's just in the background. I do have a couple of things, a couple of projects, artsy projects that I want to work on. But I need a couple of materials. One of them sucks. One of them I could probably walk across the dirt field out there right now and get. I need printer ink. And printer ink is crazy expensive. It is almost cheaper to go out and buy a brand new damn printer than it is to just buy ink. But I have a journal that I want to make for someone as a gift. Both of the projects I have are gifts for one specific person. You could maybe call it a bribe, because I also want this person to come on and be a guest for tea time so that I could interview them. Not going to say who it is. I might have already said with Trey. But I want to make them a training weapon, and I want to make them a journal. The training weapon, I could probably knock out pretty easily. I think the last piece I need for the training weapon is going to cost me a grand total of like 25 cents. To make the journal, I need black ink. And black ink is crazy expensive. I don't think we've talked at length about the Boxer Rebellion. I've kind of mentioned it in passing, but I don't think we've talked a great deal about it. If you want an in-depth look at the Boxer Rebellion, we can absolutely do that, Dan. Absolutely we can. I don't think we've gone like really, really deep into it. I think it's been just kind of an offhand. Let me go look through my other Teahouse shows, and if I haven't done one specifically on that, that can be next Saturday. Sometimes it is, yeah. I love my sword family, including the people that only watch occasionally, the people that don't show up, always show up in the chat, the people who just randomly pop into the videos, even some of the people that might possibly watch and disagree with what I'm saying. I love my sword family. I do want to give a special shout out to the patrons. Dan Hollifield, Carl Witzman, Rich Asplin Jr., and Joe and Trelina Bachman. You guys have helped me get my T-Pet. You helped me get this guy that I've had for almost a year now, and it's still not mounted. I have played around with this a little bit in its current form, but I'm going to do a full review once I get it mounted and play with it a little bit more as a staff. I'm also going to review the Guandao that Dan got me last Christmas and that training sword right there that I got for Father's Day. I have some short form videos, some reviews that need to be done. And most of those have been at least partially facilitated by my patrons. But I will see you guys when I can see you again. Might be Monday, might be Wednesday, might be next Saturday. But until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hug your loved ones because you never know. Okay, Sarah, we can definitely do that. We can absolutely do that. And I will see you guys when I see you. 再见. And away from Foxy, and there's a pupper. You can barely see his head right there. Now he's looking at the camera.